Hey guys, Fanafixer here with you again. Today going to be taking a quick look at the First Strike box set. This is the introductory set for Warhammer 40k, just came out yesterday. Went through it with the wife last night, all the way from building the models to putting them on the table and going through the building block rules that they have in here. And I have to say, it was actually pretty cool. But I'll go over everything that's in the box and whether or not you need to get it. So I'll see you in just a second. Greetings, programs, and welcome to my unboxing and quick look at the First Strike Warhammer 40,000 starter set. I think it's a pretty cool starter set. Went through the whole thing with the wife last night, and it turned out to be pretty awesome. One of the interesting things is this is all the easy-to-build miniatures that Games Workshop is touting now, and they actually were pretty easy to build. I have a quick video in this video about building one of them. They're super simple. The box is $40 American, so it's reasonably cheap entry point, and you do get 15 miniatures, so it's kind of cool. It's a decent set. Inside the box, the first thing you're going to see is a whole bunch of sprues cast in blue and green. I would say if you're going to paint these things up for a regular 40k army, you would need to prime them and paint them again. Or you might just be able to get away with spraying them with a matte or satin varnish and then going from there. But the base color is a little strange. So I would definitely think about priming them and going from there. The sprues are pretty darned amazing when you think that these are push-fit models, snap together things. The detail is pretty incredible. And one of the things that struck me, and I talk about in the video, is how almost all of the gates for the plastic are in places that you're not going to see. So there's not a tremendous amount of cleanup on these. So the different sprues for the Death Guard and the Ultramarines are interesting. The detail on the Death Guard is just crazy good. I really think that they're really kind of, everything they do these days, they're knocking out of the park. And of course, you get 6 dice, which I suppose for the introductory game is okay, but I tried to play through the whole thing with these dice, and we just sort of ran out, because when you shoot or when you make attacks with like the Poxwalkers, you're going to be rolling more than 6 dice. But we went through it with this just to see if it was doable, and it's enough. They should have given you 10, but oh well, no big deal. The range ruler that comes with this one is the 6-inch version of the 12-inch replacement for the whippy stick, which saddens me that the whippy sticks are gone. But these are actually kind of cool. They're not bad. They have neat little graphics on them, so what the heck. But it's nice to have a 6 and a 12-inch. So comes with decal sheets for both Space Marine Intercessors and the Reavers. So the Reavers are kind of a new thing, so they're sort of interesting. Inside is a mat, which the picture's terrible because of the glare, but I'll unfold it. The unfolded map, I apologize for the glare on it, but you can see the one side, side A, has those little icons, the A, B, C, D, that shows you where to set up the introductory scenarios. And the introductory scenarios are what I took the wife through last night, and they were very handy. They use a building block approach. So in the first scenario, all you're doing is the Space Marines are just shooting at Poxwalkers, and the Poxwalkers are just running. There's no close combat, there's no charge or fight phase, no morale phase. So it's just move, shoot, run. So it was very interesting to the way it did the building block approach. It made it very easy for her to get into it. Now she's played 40k before, but never this version. So she found it quite easy to grasp and to learn. The other side is a regular playmat. It's a 2-foot by 2-foot playmat, which is actually pretty nice. When you look at it, it's kind of like one of the Sector Imperialis tiles. So it's pretty cool. I like it. It's something that if you're doing a demo game at a store or something like that, you can just throw that down and be playing instantly. So it's not bad. And for the price you're paying, what the heck? Inside the box is another container, and it's these containers, so it's a little piece of terrain for your board right away, which is really kind of cool. It's a really nice touch. It's something they didn't have to do, but they did, and it really helps. If you're just starting out, this will probably be your first piece of terrain, and it's absolutely perfect. It blocks line of sight. It does everything it's supposed to do, so very cool. And look at this, Slaughter bases. Who knew? And if you look real close, you can see the little holes in the 32 mil slotted bases for the Blood Bowl footballs. So I thought that was just kind of funny. But it makes sense that they only make one kind. If they're going to make slotted bases, they're going to do it for one reason. The assembly guide that comes in it is full color. Shows you how to build each thing with all the typical GW callouts so you can see how everything goes together and make it really foolproof. So if it's your first time or if you're, a kid, you get everything you need to get going. It's really kind of cool. The data cards that come with it are actually really cool. They're very handy. They're tailored for the game kind of, but you could use them anywhere. On the obverse sides, there's really good pictures of what the unit looks like, in combat. And then when you flip it, it has all the information. These cards are super handy, and it made it really easy for me to show her what the different numbers meant and to go through the numbers and read the special rules and what have you. So very handy. I hope they continue with these cards. And some more, the intercessor. I think that's a very cool picture. And on the back is his information or their information. And they, of course, do it for the Nurglings as well. So just a really nice touch that goes in the box. I hope they continue with that in a big way. The core rules are in here. Now, these are the core rules of the game. This is a quick little thing you can throw in your gaming bag and take to the store and refer to whenever you need to. So it's another little handy addition to the set that if you're a veteran player and you have Dark Imperium and all the stuff already, this will come in handy. It's a really nice thing to throw in your bag. The First Strike set itself has a read this first, which is kind of an introduction to the hobby. Inside it covers how to collect and a little blurb on each of the different races and factions, and it goes through this Citadel painting system and all that stuff. And then at the end, it has the building block scenarios that bring you up to the rules of the game. So it's a cool little book, but it's only good for this set. It's not something you're going to keep around after you've played through this. But again, as you use it as an intro set, you'll always keep going back to it. So it's decently well done, like everything they do. These are the assembled Space Marines. They are very detailed. Everything to me looks crisp and clean. There are mold lines, which you have to take off, but it's plastic. You're going to get that no matter what you do. With the exception of my poor photography, they're really good looking models. That's the entirety of the set. 3 Reavers, 3 Space Marines, 3 Chaos Space Marines, and 6 Poxwalkers. So again, no leaders, no headquarters, nothing like that. You're not building any lists. You're not doing anything like that. The detail, like I said, is just crazy good. I'm super impressed with how they did it. My photography is bad. I wish I could have gotten a better angle on these, but I didn't. Poxwalkers, just super great models. These guys are killing it. And there's the Space Marines again. One of them's carrying an Auspex, which I thought was kind of cool. And there is the wife-eating strawberry shortcake. We've set up for the very first scenario nothing more than 3 intercessors shooting at 6 Poxwalkers. The Poxwalkers just have to run off the board, so they cover movement and advance and shooting for the Space Marine person. We get into, saves and the disgustingly resilient stuff in the next scenario. So it's a free-for-all for the Space Marines. But I did manage to draw because I did get 1 Poxwalker off the board, and that's all you have to do. But I think this is one of the later scenarios where we were playing, and I decided to get my thumb in the picture because that was cool. But yeah, we're doing a close combat, and in close combat, the Chaos Space Marines are pretty deadly. So let's just leave it at that. The one guy has a plasma fist. Yeah, deadly. So that's my quick coverage of the First Strike set. It's a very good set if you're introducing someone to the game, or if you just really want another 15 models to mess around with. It's a great set. They're press fit. They're super easy to go together. The models themselves are no worse than any other model in the range. So value for the money for introducing it to someone, it's fantastic. If you're already a well-established player and you're not going to really be introducing the game to anyone or doing any demo games, I'm not really sure that there's anything in here really that screams you have to buy this in order to play. But there are a couple of neat little things. The 6-inch range ruler, the very small edition of the core rules. It's something interesting to add to your collection, but if you have kids or if you're going to expose someone to the game, it's a great set to have. I think it's at the $40 price point. It's fantastic. Might as well go with it. So That's First Strike. So really, how easy is it to build an easy build Space Marine? So this is Space Marine Reaver number 3 on his sprue. So let me cut him out. One of the nice things about this kit is where the gates are for everything. It's almost all of them are in a hidden place where you don't really have to worry about them. The only place you have to clean up is the backpack and the shoulder pads, because as you can see, there's a gate right there and a gate right there that are visible on the shoulder pad, but almost all the rest of them are like on the end of the combat knife here. So that's nothing. The other one here on the gun is on the end of the ammo clip. So the ones for the main body itself are on the slotted base. Wow, who cares about that? And then they're also on these pins that are on the end of the arm. So of course they make no difference. Cutting them off, you don't have to clean anything up on there, which means the body is relatively clear of having to do a lot of cleanup work. So on the shoulder pads, all I really did, take a little sanding block, and that's the end of that. Take the knife, genuine Citadel knife. Just want you to see that. Yeah, because that's important. And just, okay, why is it not chopping off easy? The one time you do it on camera, of course it's not going to show. For the shoulder pad itself, you got to just trim it ever so slightly to get rid of just some of that unsightly goo. And I'll probably end up, sanding these things and painting them. But for the game I'm going to play with the wife, it's not really that big of a deal. So the heads have a little notch in them, and it matches the notch in there. So you kind of just lay the head in place. You take the back and you place it on, dislodging the head most of the time. Because, the minute you do one of these things for the camera, it doesn't work. Wow, that was really tough. So the body's assembled. Then you take the arms and you figure out what they're supposed to be doing. And if you just push the little pieces on, they go on pretty darned easy. And of course, they give you a nice little reference as to what it should look like when you're done. See, I was trying to put that guy in some kind of weird pose that he didn't belong in, and I tried to make him look like an idiot. You get your old 32 millimeter slot base. Notice the little hole for the Blood Bowl football? Yeah, right there. And just snap them in. And that pretty much is... Oh, put the backpack on. That's how you build a easy build intercessor. If I wasn't doing it for the camera, I could probably turn it out in about, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So the entire force from the First Strike set is done. There they are in all their glory, ready to go kick some Nurgle booty. So, there you go.